Over the past few years, something called hyaluronic acid has become a mainstream ingredient. You'll see it in all kinds of beauty products. Well, Dr. Ann-Therese Stubbs from Ann-Therese Aesthetic Medicine is here to share more about how it works with a new filler to the market. So thanks for being here to share with us, Dr. Ann.
Thanks for having me.
So we've heard of Restylane. I feel like that's been around for some time, kind of that tried and true.
Right, it's a household word. I think people know what it is. It's just a great filler that's been around for a long time.
Okay, so what are they adding?
Basically, they have two new fillers to the whole family of Restylane products. So they had the Silk that was for lips, they had the Restylane, it was kind of for mid-face areas, and then they had the Lift that was for robust kind of lifting of cheekbones and of the jaw area. And they've added two new fillers called Refyne and Defyne, and these are for areas that move. They're for expressive movement. So we'll see in this young lady in the picture right there, she's going to say a nursery rhyme, and you can see before and after.
Okay,
She's
so that's
talking.
just showing how natural it is, right?
Exactly. You can see that the wrinkles around her mouth in the after one just are softer. She doesn't have the big deep wrinkles around her mouth as she talks. And it's a very subtle result too, and I think people love that because no one wants to look done. And they've done studies that show that people who've gotten maybe Botox or Dysport, maybe they've gotten something to kind of relax the wrinkles, and the people who've stayed away from fillers or never tried them, when they're asked why, they say they don't want to look phony. They don't want to look fake. They don't want to look overdone and too much volume in their face. So this is the product for those folks who've been kind of fearful of fillers up to this point. Very natural looking, moves with your face, great for the little wrinkles around smile lines here and around the lips as well.
Now, you mentioned Refyne and Defyne. How are these two products then different when it comes to the big family of Restylane?
And Refyne is for smaller, finer lines, just right around the lips, maybe and around here. Defyne has a little more oomph to it, so it can be used kind of in the nasolabial fold area and in the mid-face as well.
And this is a quick procedure. As we look at some of these before and afters, these people didn't go through a lot to get looking this good.
Exactly. It's just a little bit of topical numbing cream that we put on when you come in, maybe 15 minutes of sitting with that on a clean face, and that numbs the skin. And then the injectable procedure takes maybe about 15 minutes. And a little bit of ice afterwards. We have folks ice for 10 or 15 minutes in the office, and we can put makeup on and they're right out the door.
Is this good for somebody who, as you mentioned, may have tried other products and been afraid to go that route, or people who have done other fillers? Is this
exactly
good?
And this is my patients who've done their fillers for years and just kind of kept up their volume love this, because it just kind of is a little tiny bit of topping off for certain areas that maybe we've been unable to treat before because some of the fillers were too robust or too thick to really go in these smile lines, because when the face moved it might look kind of strange if it was a solid product. These stretch actually horizontally with the face as well, so they really move very well with the face. Very safe. They've been in Europe for years and been in Canada for years, and our FDA just approved them in the last month or two.
How long did these results last?
Usually the fillers last anywhere between 9 to 12 months, and we usually tell people to kind of come back for, you know, kind of a reassessment somewhere around that time. They might not need as much kind of at the year mark. We might just need to kind of top it off, as I say, or a fluffing, but they might not need as much the second time around.
And that's probably good too for people who have been afraid, because these aren't permanent results.
Exactly, and I think for people who are fearful, knowing that, number one, this type of filler, the hyaluronic acids, have an eraser, meaning we can inject something that completely dissolves it if you absolutely hate it. We don't have much of that going on. Mostly people come back,
okay.
I want a little more in this one.
Interesting,
Yeah, so I think it's very safe. Hyaluronic acids are exactly bioidentical with our own hyaluronic acid in our skin, so nobody really has a true allergy to them. People can be maybe hypersensitive, but that's a very rare incidence too. So very safe fillers. They have an eraser, very natural looking, and we usually start baby steps too. We want everybody to look natural, and we can always put more in, so we just start with baby steps.
Okay, I like the way you put it. Dr. Ann, what's the offer you have for us today?
As always, we always have an offer for our daytime viewers. We always do a complimentary consultation to make sure this is the right thing for each patient. And normally these syringes are $6.99 for a 1 cc syringe, and they're $100 off at $5.99 a syringe right now.
Okay, so come in, talk with the team. Dr. Ann, that's the best way to start. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.